Welcome to SAU News, a weekly broadcast brought to you by the School of Journalism and Communications. I'm Georgia Standish.
And I'm Nathan Sturgess. Dozens of classes were canceled this week when electric power in Brock, Miller, and Maplewood halls suddenly failed. Campus safety first identified the outage at 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. Energy management personnel searched for the source of the problem. They found it here in this underground power exchange box. Director Dave Almond described the malfunction as a short in this 12,000-volt power line. Luckily, the needed part arrived by the afternoon, and power was restored in time for Thursday's classes. Though many students were confused by the situation, animation major Kat Walker stayed positive and said that she was glad she didn't have to turn in a due assignment.
Southern is one of the few universities that has its own cave on campus.
But not a lot of people have seen it. SAU News reporter Dustin Johnson wanted to check it out for himself. He joins us in the studio with his story.
Looks like you survived your adventure.
I did survive.
What was it like?
It was very slippery. I'd have to say for anybody wanting to visit that they need to be prepared for mud. However, that didn't seem to bother the dozens of people who lined up last weekend to go underground.
Some of these people had waited more than an hour to explore the Student Park Cave. Located by the Goliath Wall, the cave is open the first Saturday of each month. Back in the 1970s, the university used the cave to store produce, so some people call it the Potato Cave. For Bobby Clayton, it was her second visit, but for her boyfriend, it was his first time.
It was one of the big experiences at Southern I know, so I finally got to do it.
A seasoned caver from the university's outdoor leadership department is there to make sure you sign a waiver and get a helmet. Then you're ready to go. Once inside, you realize this is a very wet cave. Here, you actually had to go underwater to see a room on the other side, and the water was freezing. The main tunnel and the rest of the cave is mostly dry, but you always need to keep a lookout for muddy, slippery spots.
Since I've got light in my face, I really can't see where I'm walking. Might won't fall into one of those mini.
If you keep a sharp lookout, you'll realize you're not alone. You having fun? You said this is your first time here, but you've done other caves. I just got out of a cave. There's a lot of people in there. It looks like there's about 20 to 30 people in there at a time. Outdoor leadership says they keep about 24 helmets, but if you bring your own helmet and flashlight, you don't have to wait in line. People told us they liked it so much, they'll be back.
Like a lot of people mentioned how big it was, but then I got in there and it was deeper, I guess, but it was not as huge as I thought it would be.
Hopefully they'll have it open again when my GoPro arrives. Get some good footage for that.
Years ago, vandals would break into the cave, but now the university has it sealed up with a concrete wall and a small padlocked door. There's a small little opening to allow bats to come and go, but I didn't see any bats this time.
With all that water and slippery footing, how did you manage to capture the footage?
Well, I decided to use my GoPro, and I knew I needed lights, so I had 2 camera-mountable lights, and I walked through the cave, or climbed through the cave, like this.
Wow. So if someone else wants to experience the cave, when is the next time that it's going to be open?
It'll be open next month, the first Saturday of the month, from 1:30 to 5. Bring old clothes and a flashlight or headlamp, and a tip would be to, when you come out of the cave, you are looking for a place to wash off. There's a creek nearby to rinse off.
I bet that creek water is warmer than the cave water.
It is.
Thanks, Dustin. Great story.
No problem.
Instead of exploring underground, the SCUBA class explored underwater during their checkout dive in Florida this past weekend. Divers finished their lifetime certification by completing 5 dives, most at Blue Grotto Dive Resort you see here. They didn't see much marine life, but the water was crystal clear with a bright blue hue. The class stayed at Camp Colaqua over the 3-day trip. If you're interested in joining the SCUBA class next semester, sign up soon. It's limited to 26 students. Classes meet 2 nights a week, once in the classroom and the other in the pool.
It's Wellness Week on campus. Did you know the word wellness is embedded in the university's mission statement? Since wellness is such a big deal, we assigned SAU News reporter Cole Taylor on the story, and he joins us with the details.
Welcome, Cole.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of wellness groups on campus. Who's in charge here?
Well, actually, Campus Ministries is in charge of this, but many people think that the Wellness Club is actually in charge. The main focus of Wellness Week is based around the Creation Health principles. This is the second year in which Creation Health was the theme. The idea is to get students active in changing something about their current lifestyle.
So every day on the promenade we're doing an activity and we have challenge cards, and each day we're challenging students to remember something, to choose something, and to challenge themselves in some area of their well-being.
Some students already have good wellness habits. We even have a state-of-the-art facility here on campus. But busy schedules can sometimes interfere with finding time for fitness. Here at Halsey Wellness Center, students come to exercise while giving their minds a break from their studies. Some people may feel that they can never find enough time to exercise between work, classes, and studying. But for students such as Ryan Haas, finding time every day to exercise is just as valuable as making time for his classes.
Yeah, I'm really busy with class and work. I have 2 jobs and 16 credit hours, but I really like setting apart an hour so I can just, it's really my time to relax actually, which sounds weird, but it really makes my day a lot better when I have an hour of working out and physical activity.
Finding time for exercise isn't exactly easy for college students. Luckily, activity is just part of the focus of Wellness Week. Other things to be aware of are getting enough rest, proper nutrition, and most importantly, trusting in God. The Campus Ministry Student Wellness motto is Choose Wellness Today. They want students to choose wellness every day of their life and remember that God is the center of everything, and without Him, you cannot be well.
But not everyone has the time to work out every day, so what are some things some students can do to fix that?
Well, actually, wellness is more than just physical activity. Wellness can include a number of things like rest and nutrition, so if you're feeling stressed or tired, you might want to think about a couple of those things too.
We've seen this acronym which spells out creation. What does that stand for?
Well, each letter stands for something else having to do with your health. It starts with C, which is choice, then rest, environment, activity, trust in God, interpersonal relationships, outlook, and nutrition.
Got it, creation. So has this story affected your own lifestyle?
Well, last year they had the same motto with the creation theme, and I helped out with that. So I learned good principles that I could apply to my life. And this year, getting to do this story really helped me to renew those thoughts that I had learned last year.
Thanks, Cole. Live long and prosper.
Thank you. You too.
Have any advice or tips you'd like to share to stay well? Tell us by posting your comments on our Twitter feed at SAU News 1.
We may even use your tweet in our next broadcast.
If you love to work with your hands, you'll want to see this. SCU News reporter Smyrna Paz shows us the hands-on carpentry skills students learn in the woodworking class.
Set aside all your textbooks, your laptops, and calculators. Here, you'll be working with wood. Ryan Roberts says this is his favorite class.
I'm taking the class because I enjoy working with wood. I've worked with my dad on construction projects growing up, mostly home improvement stuff.
Instructor Mark McGrath helps students with their choice of creative projects.
I see a bulge here.
One of the first projects is a toy drum box.
This will be given to the Samaritan Center as a gift for any kid this Christmas.
Hannah Heisler proves you don't have to be a guy to take woodshop. She's currently working on a project that is challenging.
Well, I'm making a hope chest, and I'm in the middle right now. I've learned a lot. I didn't realize how much gluing was involved.
The woodworking class can enroll up to 12 students, but currently they have only 9. You don't have to be a technology major, no prerequisites required. But if you have experience like Ryan, it doesn't hurt.
I am working on a blanket chest for my mother for Christmas, made out of African mahogany.
Need a service credit or just another elective? Woodworking might be an option for you. For SAU News, I'm Smyrna Paz.
The technology department is offering 2 woodworking classes next semester, a simple 1-hour course and a 3-hour service credit class. Check the university's course schedule for times.
The School of Business and Management has a new permanent dean. The search committee recommended the current interim dean, Dr. Mark Hyder, and he has accepted. Dr. Hyder completed multiple degrees and certifications, including an accounting degree from Southern in 1982, as well as a law degree and a master's in accounting and finance from other schools. Before joining the School of Business this year, Dr. Hyder worked in several positions at the General Conference Auditing Service and was also an associate professor in business at Atlantic Union College.
The Southern Memories Yearbook has been an annual tradition here for decades. But did you know most other universities have abandoned yearbooks altogether? But our yearbook staff is working hard and remain dedicated to keeping the time-honored tradition alive.
Coming up would be the page.
Lexi is this year's editor for the yearbook. She is earning a dual major in graphic design and public relations. Both play a role in making a good yearbook, but for Lexi it's really about bringing people together.
Having a passion for people and for relationships is really important to me and special, but we're in college, it's not high school anymore, but I feel like it really is something special and like something to hold on to, especially if it's made well.
I like this one where it has
One thing that's changed this year is that Lexi has switched publishers in order to invest more in one thing.
We're working really hard and creating a really nice cover, and it's going to look really good, and we are incorporating like the social media aspect. If you hashtag SAU Memories and take a picture on Instagram or tweet about an event, we will, if we like the picture, we'll put it in the yearbook.
Ultimately though, the yearbook is a way of remembering where you started.
We always relate back to our roots and where we came from. It's really important to allow people to recognize that when they leave, when they go off into like wherever they decide to go in life, to remember that Southern is where they began.
Being part of yearbook actually extends beyond sitting in front of a computer though. Some of Lexi's workers take it to the ball field.
Hey, get ready, D!
Matt Hadley has to shoot every day.
I really love photography. I love doing it all the time. If I don't pick up a camera in a day, I get the shakes. And yearbook is a perfect outlet for me to be able to go and shoot pretty much all the time.
For Matt, taking a picture is capturing a memory.
I don't have a ton of pictures from my past. I think that's what kind of drives me now. Because what do you leave behind when you graduate from a school like this? Not much, but at least I can say oh, that's my photo on the webpage or in the yearbook when I look back at it. There's definitely a part of it that's driven by that.
Creating a yearbook is not only a great opportunity for students to do work in their field, but also as a way of making sense of life.
Nathan, interesting. I think a lot of us forget that there's a yearbook in the making until it actually comes out at the Strawberry Festival in April. Can you tell us what this year's theme is?
You know, I can't. Lexi keeps that pretty tightly under wraps, but I think there is a hint at it in the story itself.
You mean I have to watch your story again?
No, you should probably just wait till April.
A senior public relations major has won national recognition for her academic achievement and internships. Becca Anderson, seen here with her friend Lindsay Mitchell, was presented the Student of the Year Award at this year's Society of Adventist Communicators Convention in Salt Lake City. Anderson told the Southern Accent she feels honored to be singled out. She gives credit to her professors and 3 internships, including McKee Foods and the Volkswagen plant in Chattanooga. After graduating in December, Anderson plans to continue working for Volkswagen.
Colorful costumes and flags from many nations filled the Student Center Saturday. SCU News reporter Charles Kamek says this was ground zero for anyone thinking about serving abroad as a student missionary.
Upon entrance to the expo, attendees were handed a student missions passport. This guide not only provided a layout for the 30 booths represented, but also contained contact information for current and former student missionaries under the countries they served in.
Student Missions Expo is a great place to come on Sabbath afternoon because you can go around to the different booths and you can get information about each different country that student missionaries have been to in the past, and it'll give you a good opportunity to think about going to that country and finding out a little bit more about the experience that you could have.
The expo is a culmination of Student Missions Week, where students were able to learn about countries like Zambia, to Tanzania, to Bolivia, and even the Marshall Islands. I'm here on this beautiful fall Sabbath day. As you'll see behind me, the Student Center is filled with students who are traveling, if you will, through the world to find a place where they can serve. Besides the trifolds, photos, cultural garb, and cultural artifacts, students were also able to sample cultural food from many of the booths.
I get over the apprehension of leaving by trusting that God will open the doors and provide ways that I will feel safe and feel accepted in the environment that I will go to, and then feel that belonging as well.
There were also stations for Skyping current student missionaries and writing them as well. For SAU News, I'm Charles Kennedy.
So if any of this has inspired you to consider serving as an SM, you really need more information. Contact Coordinator Julie Norton in the Student Center or visit the Student Missions page on Southern's website.
The NBA basketball season is already underway, and here at Southern, the sport is also off to an early November start. The annual 3-on-3 basketball tournament drew a big crowd to Isles PE Center Saturday night. 30 men's teams competed along with 9 women's teams. The first round was single elimination, which provided a friendly but competitive atmosphere.
I'm trying to make it as far as I can without wearing my glasses. That's literally my goal. Maybe a championship, maybe just one win. I don't even know what I'm looking at right now.
The tournament finished right around midnight with the Globetrotting Gobblers winning the ladies division, and Team Sweaty Palms captured the men's title.
This Saturday night, come down to the gym and cheer on your favorite extreme dodgeball teams. In case you miss it though, SCU News will bring you the fun in our next broadcast.
And we'll spend some time with the stargazers from astronomy class as they point their telescopes into the heavens. That's it for this edition of SAU News. We remind you this is a joint production of the TV studio class and the TV news and performance class. I'm Georgia Standish.
And I'm Nathan Sturgess. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.